It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight we'll see the Washington Wizards playing against the Los Angeles Lakers at Staples Center. Taking a look at the Lakers, it hasn't been the kind of start to the season that they'd imagined. They've dropped their first 3 games right out of the gate. And Luke Walton, the 26th head coach in Lakers franchise history, he said it was his dream job. It's the team that drafted him and where he won his titles. Guys, do you like the hire?
Well, I mean, he showed as an interim coach with the Warriors, he could get the job done. They started out, Ernie, 24-0 when he was a Warrior coach. He broke the NBA record. So how in the world will you not get it? You went 39-4 overall. So you set the stage for what the best record in the NBA history ever had.
Well, I know Luke very well. He was my rookie. He used to carry my bags. He's worked with coaches like the great Phil Jackson, Steve Kerr. What I like about him is he has the right disposition, very laid back, and I think the young players speak his language.
Were you tough on him when he was your rookie?
I sure was.
What's the worst thing you made him do?
Go to Krispy Kreme and get me some donuts.
What was that, like 18 times a day?
That would be correct.
Time for tip-off.
More donuts, please.
Let's send it to Kevin.
Glaze.
But I just got back with these.
Glaze.
I want more.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. We'll be catching up in a bit from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And folks, Bradley Beal will not be in the lineup, out with the injury.
Yeah, Kevin, no more uncertainty about the seriousness of the injury. Well, we only got a preliminary diagnosis after he came out of that previous game, but now they sound sure about it, and hopefully we see him back on the court in less than a month.
Well, everyone who watched his last game cringed when he went down. Glad to hear that the injury is not season-ending.
And before we get going, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who had a chance to speak with head coach Luke Walton. Dave, what do you have to say?
Well, guys, when I asked him what impressed him the most about today's opponent, he immediately referred to the explosiveness on their offense. He said they have so many different ways to hurt you that it's impossible to take away everything. It's just about damage control. And he acknowledged they've got a big job to do defensively. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Maybe too soon to start talking about this, Doris, but we see some young teams getting blown out. Clearly, they're in rebuild mode. At what point do you start to focus on player development versus winning games?
You know, this is such a tough organizational issue because you have to balance the priority of giving your young talent an opportunity to get the repetition necessary in a playing environment, in a competitive situation, versus we owe a commitment to our fans to win and win at a high level because they're paying the ticket prices and ultimately, you know, playing a part in our success. So I think some of this has to be, where are we at the midway point? Are we legitimately in playoff contention, or is it time to now focus on our player development? This is an organizational decision that has to happen organically over 82 games.
And you know what losing does to a culture. It can disintegrate a culture.
No, it's a great point. You do not want young players to get comfortable with losing. You are so right about that, Kevin.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Washington, Morris and Gortat together down low. All out there with Jody Meeks, and it's Porter in at the small forward position. Washington shooting their first free throw attempt on the night.
I think when you watch John Wall with his speed both in the half court and the open floor, he creates so much. This guy's blow-by ability sets up his teammates, and I'll tell you, it's the engine that gets this offense started. That's an example of great communication. He knows the spot to get to, and the pass is waiting for him.
Dishes it to Meeks. Morris a screen. Wall wide open. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Well, the spot-up opportunity, right? A nice confidence booster for John Wall.
Ball dishes to Caldwell Pope. Buries it from three-point range. Caldwell Pope's got himself on the board with 3 there.
He's just so good from out there, even when the defense is tight.
There's a screen by Gortat. Outside, Wall. Kicks it to Porter. There's a screen by Gortat. And Porter, here we go. And finished off by Porter.
A devastating drive, and Porter powering it home.
Lopez, right side. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Lopez has got his second bucket.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Now here's Wall. Guarded closely. Good on the shot.
Boy, they came ready to play. That's 4 straight buckets to start the game.
Zubac is checked in for Los Angeles. I think everyone can now agree that John Wall is one of the better point guards in the NBA.
No doubt. At this point, when you factor in his production, he's got to be in the top 5, if not top 3 guards in the league. One of the better passers we have as well. It's just hard to find guards that can create so easily the way Wall can.
Ball with the rebound.
That was their first miss of the game. 4 for 5 right now. What a good start.
The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
Yeah, Ball just really good at running in transition. Smart at knowing where to sprint to in the open floor.
And Wall kicks to Gortat. Outside, Porter. 6 on the shot clock. Takes a 3. And no good that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, that was more than just a tough loss. That was a complete embarrassment.
Look, Greg, they simply didn't bring it. And that's one of those losses that you just have to throw away and forget about.
Here is Gortat, following the basket by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And the rejection by Zubac. And here is Ball. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Ball's got his second basket of the night.
And not just sustaining the lead, they're adding to it.
Right, and this is precisely what you want to do. Build up the lead and keep the pressure on.
Wall's shot is off.
Boy, they're just giving him that shot. An easy opportunity for 3 just slips away.
Ball, the pass to Randall. Shoots the 3. And Ball gets it to go on the assist from Randall. And it's 7 points for Lonzo Ball.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And that can happen on the road. You can get a little bit tight, and often it really shows itself at the free throw line.
It certainly appeared that they let the crowd get to them a little bit. Looked like they were rushing their foul shots, and that can happen. You've got to lock in. And last season, I think we saw just what could be a preview of what the Washington Wizards can be moving forward, right? They return to the second round of the playoffs. They have a clear core and strength to build around for the future.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Larry Nance is checked in for Randall. Bang comes in for Ingram. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Ball. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Mahinmi's checked in for Gortat. Mike Scott comes in for Markieff Morris. Oubre's checked in for Porter. And Tim Frazier's subbed in for Jody Meeks. And Doris, as you mentioned, it had been a roller coaster of season finishes for the Wizards over the last few years. Now they know exactly where they stand.
You know, Kevin, I think equally important, they know the destination they want to get to. John Wall has shown he is an elite talent in the NBA who can carry them in a postseason series. And I think as long as Wall is there, this team has an opportunity to contend in the East.
And the Lakers, Greg, for a long time could rely on the lure of Los Angeles to draw top free agents. History does a lot, it seems.
Yeah, Paul George listing them on his short list shows they still have that pull, but the Lakers will be big players in free agency, I believe, in the near future.
Now, here's Wall. He's coming off a 10-point game against Denver.
And don't forget the sensational plays he made out there. He saw the court so well, firing perfect passes to teammates for wide-open shots.
The shot by Clarkson, no good. Wizards trail by 7. There's 42 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Shot by Frazier, no good. Los Angeles has gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. The shot by Clarkson, no good. The Wizards have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Wall, good. Wall's got 10 points.
Dominating this quarter. He's been absolutely fantastic shooting the ball, and they still trail.
Nance dishes to Dang. Here's Clarkson. Los Angeles with another miss. Frazier outside. Here's Oubre. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
What a 3 at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
Boy, that was the perfect end to the period. You have no idea how much effect those buzzer beaters can have on a team's momentum.
And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Lakers ahead. They lead by 2. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. Washington trailing. The big men are Nance and Lopez. Caldwell Pope out there with Jordan Clarkson. And it's Dang in at the 3 slot. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. Here's Frazier. And again, Washington with the triple.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Clarkson against Frazier. Shots good by Clarkson.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Neither team wants to give an inch. This is fun. Both teams trying desperately to seize the momentum.
Oubre with it. He kicks it to Frazier. It's Scott on the wing. 5 to shoot. The feed now to Wall. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. Here we go, 1-on-1. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Kelly Oubre.
And always a smooth athlete. KCP doing a better job of drawing contact. And you really got to be in awe at the way that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope plays defense. So disciplined in this era of three-point shooting to kind of stay home on fakes and playing great position defense. He just sticks to his man like glue.
Smith checked in for Mike Scott. Here's Clarkson. Uses the glass to drop it in. Clarkson's got 5 points so far.
Well, he just creates enough separation to get a quality look from the mid-range.
The Wizards working the ball around now. Wall against Caldwell Pope. Wall's shot is off. Now Caldwell Pope, it's not like he's playing defense on just anyone. Greg, he usually drives the opposing team's top scorer as his nightly assignment.
Yeah, and he's earned that responsibility because of his play. I mean, typically plays a ton of minutes and never slows down during the game. All around fantastic defensively.
Oubre kicks to Smith. 6 to shoot. And here's Wall outside. Again, the miss by Wall. Lakers leading by 6. This offense has really been clicking.
And they know it, guys. They're playing right now with the kind of energy that is hard to deal with.
Poked away, stolen by Clarkson. The finish, the fast break ends at the rim with the jam.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
And that replay presented by Under Armour showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. Balls checked in for Caldwell Pope, and the Wizards making a change here as well. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for John Wall. Frazier kicks to Meeks. Mahinmi passes to Smith. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Wizards need to get a shot off here. It's tipped.
And Ball using those long arms to just swat away that shot. I love the hustle. Always nice to have a point guard who can block shots.
The shot's good from Nance.
Oh, easy putback. No one got a body on it.
Boy, I'll tell you, Greg, that's just inexcusable. All they had to do was box him out. But you learn a lesson the hard way in that instance.
Washington calls timeout. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
Yeah, an interconference matchup, and these are two teams at different ends of the spectrum as far as the talent is concerned.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Julius Randle's checked in for Nance. And it's Ingram in for Luol Deng. Then for the Wizards, Gortat's checked in for Mahinmi. Morris comes in for Jason Smith. And Porter subbed in for Kelly Oubre. And it's Otto Porter with the foul. That's his first foul. Doris, we have so many bigs that are playmakers, even though their position doesn't say they really should fall in that category. But we do have a lot of guys that can pass, that have size, and operate down low. Who, in your opinion, tend to be some of those names under the radar?
Well, I go to Marc Gasol, who is an all-star center in the NBA. But what his value is, he's increasingly become comfortable with a guy who they want to take 15 to 20 shots a game. But the beauty of Marc Gasol is the unselfish nature of his game. You can stick Marc at the elbow, enter the ball through him, and you know something good is going to happen. He's going to make the right pass. He's going to lead to the pass that leads to the pass that leads to the score, or he can get his own offense. I think for me, maybe the under-radar guy in terms of playmaking have to be Marc Gasol. Well, listen, we know the heart of this Wizards team is the backcourt of John Wall and Bradley Beal. They are the engine that gets this team going, and both serve as great leaders as well.
To the middle. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Brook Lopez.
Oh, very confident inside. I'll tell you, Gortat's mentality, if you don't foul me, I'm scoring it every single time.
And Doris with Wall and Beal, the Wizards leaders. Most would argue that they are the best backcourt right now in the Eastern Conference.
Well, there is a tandem in Toronto that might argue that supposition. But to me, Bradley Beal and John Wall are absolutely one of the elite backcourts in the NBA. Both guys are efficient scoring. Both can create off the dribble. And it's hard to overstate how much they mean to this team.
Now, here's Meeks. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Denver.
I'll tell you, he hasn't been able to find the mark all night. It's a big reason they're staring at this deficit.
Here's Ball. Lopez kicks to Randle. Pass the ball. Takes a 3. Washington with the rebound.
Boy, I'll tell you, still looking for that first 3 of the second quarter. He had one to open this game in the first.
And Ball slams it in.
And I just love the aggressiveness from Ball. When he's driving to the hoop, he's ready to attack the rim at will.
Now here's Frazier. Defense is right there. Now Meeks. He dishes it to Frazier. Stolen by Ball.
You just can't allow Ball to get comfortable when he's penetrating inside. He does a great job of using his size and those hesitation moves to draw fouls.
Lakers shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Brook Lopez. And it's Caldwell Pope and for Clarkson. And a switcher also for Washington. John Wall's checked in for Tim Frazier. And Wall kicks to Gortat. Yep, that one goes in there.
And despite the hot start from beyond, they've gotten away from shooting the triple.
Now, here's Ball. Covered by Wall. Pass to Zubac. Launches a 3. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, and Ball, a transcendent talent, I think, has a real skill for finding his teammates when they have those good looks at the rim.
Wall. Open jump shot off the mark.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And they're making sure on this one, even though it may not matter in the grand scheme, but the replay process is faster than ever. You know, why not?
And they're keeping the call as is. It was close, but he had not released it before the clock had expired.
Yeah, still better safe than sorry. I think they did the right thing.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the 3rd quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. A nice show being put on tonight by Brook Lopez. He had 12 points and 3 rebounds. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers.
What a true demonstration of dominance. They made a commitment to owning the glass, and they made good on it. Blocking out, competing hard in traffic, that's the way you should play on both ends of the court.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Washington?
Well, there are a few areas they need to improve on, but perimeter defense is priority numero uno. They got to be quicker to close out on the three-point shooters, so you got to prevent the open looks. They weren't fighting through screens. They're just not doing enough, Ernie, especially outside.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the 3rd quarter started. It's been a clinic from Brook Lopez.
Yeah, I mean, he really gave them a boost in that first half, shot way above his average.
I think, Greg, you love it when a role player is able to elevate their game. It makes every team better.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the 3rd quarter started. Wizards trail by 18. So on the floor for Washington. Porter and Morris are the forwards. Ball out there with Jody Meeks, and it's Gortat in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Lopez needs to hold down the fort on defense. An incredible wingspan to get that one.
Ball dishes to Lopez. And a miss there on the triple. Washington's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory.
Guys, there's no doubt last year was a breakout year for Otto Porter. I mean, he set career highs almost across the board. Points, rebounds, and so on. This guy went from being a role player to a major part of the offense.
Here's Ball using his post move to get the 2 points. Ball's got 13.
How about the focus here from Ball on offense? Constantly looking for ways to score. Feels like he can get any shot he wants.
And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up. And that sends John Wall to the free throw line. Lonzo Ball picks one up. Doris, something that's become popular, debating whether a player is a star or a superstar. To you, what's the major difference between those two thoughts?
To me, the biggest difference between star and superstar are those guys who are willing to absorb the label on a night-by-night basis and a moment-by-moment basis. You can't disappear when the stakes get high. You can't disappear on a February night in the middle of the grind pre-All-Star break. Greatness requires you to come with it every single night.
And they don't care about the conversation about them. They're bulletproof in some ways, very thick skin.
Very Kobe-like attribute you just referenced.
Very good comparison. Lakers leading by 15. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Wizards have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Porter passes to Wall. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's foul number 2 for him. Doris, for you in evaluating how good a player was over his career. You can look at analytics, statistics, whatever avenue you want to take. How important are the rings, the championships in that equation for you?
You know, I know there is some conversation that's saying if you don't have a ring, your career wasn't great. I would say this to you. Karl Malone and John Stockton are in no way diminished in terms of their Hall of Fame credentials simply because they lacked a ring. Sometimes it's the era within which you're operating. Michael Jordan was the greatest player of his generation. Some would say the greatest player of all time. I would say that Karl Malone and John Stockton, unfortunately, were at their peak, in the peak of maybe the greatest player, Michael Jordan. So in no way is someone like Patrick Ewing diminished in terms of his stature and greatness simply because the Knicks were never able to break through. I don't buy that argument.
You frame that so well. And Brook Lopez, the bucket on the assist by Ball. Ball's got assist number 8 now on the night. Wizards trail by 18. Inside, here's Smith. And he uses the glass on the layup. Smith's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Ball kicks to Lopez. Out to the right wing. Hits the three-point bomb. 16 points for Lonzo Ball.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Screen by Smith. To the paint. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Smith's got his third basket of the night.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Zubac is checked in for Lopez. Deng comes in for Ingram. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Ball. And then for Washington, Mahimi comes in for Markieff Morris. And Oubre subbed in for Otto Porter Jr.
Boy, it was good defense, but he just had enough separation with that little bit of a fade.
Wall dishes to Oubre. Nice ball movement by Washington. And finished off by Oubre.
This guy's a super quick leaper. Oubre doesn't need much time to get off the floor.
Los Angeles leading by 17. To the left side wing. Deng kicks to Clarkson. Now the pass to Caldwell Pope. The dish to Clarkson. Shot clock at 6. Caldwell Pope passes to Nance. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Wizards trail by 17. Meeks with it. Now guarded by Caldwell Pope. And Meeks kicks to Wall. Rebound the Lakers.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
Well, certainly a disappointing result, but they'll live with the shot. They'll take that every time.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
And Meeks kicks to Oubre. Wall against Clarkson. They get the rebound. Mahimi, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Caldwell Pope outside. He feeds it to Clarkson. Here's Nance. Rebound, Washington. Mahinmi's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Shoots. Meeks, good. Meeks got 4 points in the quarter.
Terrific ball movement there, and once again, John Wall finds the right man at the right time.
Clarkson against Wall. They set the pick. Left side, Nance over Mahinmi. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And the Lakers lead by 18.
Perfect example of how to set a great screen. Set your feet, stand firm.
Passes it to Smith. Outside, Wall. High post try. And Washington again with the bucket.
Now, this is a big-time offensive game right now. Wall is giving the defense everything they can handle.
Nance outside. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Left block shot on the way. Again, the Lakers. 6 seconds left to play in the third. From deep, Wall, no good on the buzzer beater. And so it's Los Angeles with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And we'll be back with you shortly. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Los Angeles leading by 18. Ball runs point with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to his side. They're the backcourt. Dang out there with Julius Randle. And it's Zubac in at the 5. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Frazier kicks to Scott. Back to Frazier. Feeds it to Gortat. Stolen by Caldwell-Pope. And it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way. The Lakers making a switch here. Ingram's checked in. And a switcher also for Washington. Porter's checked in. Wizards trail by 18. A shot by Frazier, no good.
He definitely got nervous at the rim. I mean, he needs to make sure he finishes strong.
Here's Ball. Porter pulls it in. Porter's got his 3rd rebound tonight. This is to Frazier. Down low, 13 feet away. Scott, good. Scott's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for Washington. Shoots from the baseline. Zubac the basketball. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
And Ball has tremendous confidence in that shot. As soon as the pass hits his hands, he's ready to pull up.
Frazier kicks to Scott. Over Randle. Scott, good.
That's a perfect mid-range jumper. All he needs is an inch of space, and they gave it to him.
Pass to Zubac. Here's Caldwell-Pope. Ingram dishes the ball. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Ball's got 20 points.
There's just a feel that Ball plays with that really separates him from so many other players. He's superb at finding ways here to score in the paint.
Washington calls timeout. And a pretty unorthodox slingshot shooting form for Lonzo Ball. Greg brings it up on the left side of his face.
Yeah, but he's still got great balance, and the lower body mechanics are perfect. Good wrist action on the follow-through. Sometimes we get caught up so much in the motion to get to the shot. It's about the release point. And when you get there with this guy and the confidence with which he plays, I think it's a non-issue.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Lopez is checked in. Morris is checked in for Washington. Jody Meeks comes in for Frazier. Meeks can't hit.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
The wide open look here for Lopez. Zubac kicks to Lopez. Drills it from outside. And the Lakers lead by 21.
You know, I think Lopez knows basically he can get his shot up over anyone. That stretch ability as a perimeter scorer is so important.
And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Doris, one result of the new CBA, minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't think there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You see important role players and guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And, hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Yeah, good thoughts. Good thoughts. On the wing, Porter. Back to Wall. Kicks it to Gortat. Shoots over Zubac. Gortat misses. Lakers leading by 22. The feed now to Lopez. Shoots over Gortat. And it's Lopez again missing.
And a surprise he doesn't knock that down. Defense a little too lax that time.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Well, we all have hobbies outside basketball, Doris. You've said that one of your passions is cooking, and I know this personally. I have to ask, what's your best dish? What's your specialty?
You know, that might be too many to name, but if I were to pick just one, I would probably have to say my chicken tetrazzini is my children's favorite. Boy, I can throw down in the kitchen, Kevin.
Learn that from Mom? You just picked it up on your own? How'd you learn to be such a good cook?
You know, my daughter and I, that was one thing that sort of really bonded us. We would watch a little cooking show on TV, head to the kitchen and try to reproduce it. So Sarah and I did some work.
Love that story. Ball kicks to Lopez. Shoots over Gortat, and it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Ball.
How about the poise from Brook Lopez? He doesn't let the defense get to him. Keeps that high release point. Nice.
Wall passes to Meeks. Morris a screen. Porter kicks to Morris. The turnaround Jay. Good.
Good job working the in-between area.
Yeah, I think if the defense is going to give that to him, he's got to take the opportunity. He uses his size and high release point on the jumper.
Here's Ball. Randall down low, covered by Morris. 2 points, that one goes. That's now 22 points for Lonzo Ball.
And Ball is a gifted shooter, someone that excels at scoring the ball even when the coverage is tight.
There's a screen by Gortat, and it's Brook Lopez with the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. A platoon swap here for the Lakers. There's 1:38 left in the 4th quarter. Mahinmi a screen. Mahinmi with the screen for Oubre. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Unloads from 13. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Lakers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Lonzo Ball.
Boy, his assist total to me is the most telling stat. This guy created, he made sharp passes, and the defense was always reacting to him.
Dang against Scott. Frazier outside. Back to Scott. No good on that one. So the Lakers will take it the other way. Pass the ball. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
Mahinmi's shot is good.
Yeah, over the years, Mahinmi has become more and more offensive-minded. You get him a paint touch, he's thinking score it.
Here's Lopez, and another three for the Lakers.
Up by double digits, little time remaining. Way to defend your house.
Well, this is what you call taking care of your business, showing dominance on their home floor. What an excellent effort.
Frazier dishes to Mahinmi, and it's Mahinmi finishing it off.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
Lopez, no luck.
And you know, he's got the ability, but the question is that really the best shot you can get?
You know, I don't think so, Greg. The defense will give up that deep a shot all day. You got to continue to move the basketball.
Shooting for Washington, Tim Frazier. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time. Ball. Missed. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Julius. Now, look, you're banging in the paint, but what do you see from your backcourt?
They do a great job of, you know, they obviously can score the ball, but getting us into things and running the offense very well and leading the team that way.
Well, they led you to a win tonight, Julius. Thank you for your time. Kevin?
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.